You won the bikini contest, did you?
Yeah, I did.
At Summers.
Yesterday.
And you are?
Sherry.
Sherry? And you won too? You tied or what?
No, this is my friend.
Oh, this is your friend. Oh, I see. How's this work? You just walk out there and they applaud, or who decides?
Yeah, the audience. The audience applauses for the girl they like the best.
I see. Are you from the area?
Well, I'm from upstate, but I live down here now.
You're a Floridian who comes here for the spring break.
Yeah, I just got back yesterday.
Well, you're certainly very, very attractive young women, and I thank you for coming over to say hello to me. Let me chat with the press. Hold it. Here's the press. So you better be suspicious. Right. You're Bob
Steinbeck.
Bob Steinbeck from the Miami Herald, and you're from the Fort Lauderdale News and Sun Sentinel, and you're Bill Kelly. What's the story here, guys? Business is down, first of all, right? What happened?
I think backlash against all the headlines nationwide about what was going on supposedly at spring break. The residents didn't like it, formed committees, that sort of thing, and other tourist areas decided to cash in on the action, and they took over where Fort Lauderdale had once been publicizing itself.
So when the lid came on, other areas along the strip here, including Daytona Beach, decided to
wind up waiting to cash in on the action. You got Miami Beach, which is dying. They're trying to get teenagers down there, college students.
So we really have a very interesting economic story here, in addition to a sociologist could have a field day down here. What's your read on this, Bob?
I think what happened was that the spring break from 1985 was very compressed. It was only 4 weeks long. It was a record-breaking spring break in terms of the number of students that came, and the city, a lot of the major people in the city decided they wanted to just put a lid on it. They wanted to control it, but what I think happened was that they overshot it. I think they thought it was going to take 4 to 5 years maybe to cool things down, but what happened after last year with all the changes that came, word spread across campus. Everyone said Fort Lauderdale is going to give you a hard time. It's not the same in Fort Lauderdale. It's more expensive in Fort Lauderdale, and the kids started looking for alternatives.
And also, you had fewer ads in college papers promoting the area, isn't that?
Well, places like Daytona, the actual economic machine there, the county, for example, would take out ads in college newspapers and so on. They haven't done that in MTV also. Right. They haven't done that in Fort Lauderdale since, I believe, 1984.
Now, there have been some horror stories down here now, so that we're not just, I don't just look like a guy who's a middle-aged guy complaining about the children, young people's behavior.
But it's the old story. Bad news gets reported. And hang on a minute. Bad news gets reported. There were a couple of deaths. You get people that can't handle liquor. But whether that's the majority or the minority, that's what's going to get reported. Also, I think they really failed to account for word of mouth among the students who said, I didn't have a good time last year, why should I go back?
So where are we now then? Obviously you've got a merchant community that wants to promote business, you've got a residential community that wants everybody to have a good time, but feels very much challenged or inconvenienced by this kind of...
You've also got a residential community that doesn't live on the beach and is aware of the tax dollars that are brought in. Everybody's concerned about kids getting hurt and things like that, but you do have a large county in which people don't live on the beach and aren't immediately affected by whether somebody drops a beer can in front of his house.
Are there vacancies in hotels now?
Yes, absolutely. There you can walk along the street right behind the strip here and see vacancy signs, which is unprecedented.
Now I assume that there are civic efforts to rally the area from an economic.
Yeah, what is taking place now is that a number of business people, with the help of some of the city government people, are trying to repackage and essentially remarket the entire beach so that it will, even during the height of the season, it will appeal to adults, to families. And interestingly, one of the people behind it is one of the owners of the bars right here on the strip. They're really trying to, they want to create an atmosphere where college students can still come, but where they may not necessarily just dominate. Or
how many arrests in '85? Do you have any idea?
I believe there were 900.
Yeah,
900 people arrested?
Yeah.
Now that was the big final we've had it kind of year, wasn't it?
That was the year of the police reports, which you couldn't even quote on the newspapers.
Now, there have been deaths out here, haven't there? Pedestrian deaths.
There weren't last year. I believe before that there were.
There were. And people have fallen off of balconies here.
A couple, yeah.
Right. And things have gotten out of hand at wet t-shirt contests, etc.
Exactly.
A lot of vulgarity that you tell me you can't even print in your paper.
Yeah. but there's a lot of vulgarity occurring everywhere, not just related to kids.
And it is a small percentage of the...
And plus another thing you have to keep in mind is that a lot of it, I've spoken at length with the MC of that show, John Terry, who was the one who was thrown in jail for 90 days after that. He pointed out that a lot of those things were simulated, and that when things got out of hand, he would try to control it. That he really feels that it was just something, that he was made a target to make a point.
They needed a scapegoat.
All right. Will Fort Lauderdale rally?
They want the yuppies, whether they can attract them, and in addition,
Older people, you mean?
with money to
They
spend.
want the kids who came here 5 years ago.
Kind of calm down a little.
I see. We'll be back in just a moment. Thank you both, gentlemen.